Hey guys, it's Jay, just coming to you. I'm actually really excited about the Jesus Walk series that we're doing right now. I said I was going to do this a while ago and just kind of do short videos that kind of summarize what we've talked about each Bible study. So I'm a little behind. We started the Jesus Walk series about 2 weeks ago. And I'm just really excited about it. I'm excited about it because number one, it gives us a chance to see an example. That's what we kind of really talked about in the first Jesus Walk Part 1, is that we have an example in Jesus. We have an example of how to go through all of the things that we go through in our life, but to still remain holy, and that is possible. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm not Jesus." You're not Jesus, but you were made in His image. And the Bible does say, "Greater works shall we do." So that being said and done, that's not an excuse. So that was our first Jesus Walk Part 1. Again, we really talked about the example of Jesus. We really talked about we kind of introduced some of the things that happened with Jesus initially, you know. So that was that. Last week we talked about, we did Jesus Walks, the heart of my pastors is what God was saying, and it's a sensitive subject. I believe that God always starts with His people, with the church, before we start talking about things in and of the world, because we were called out to be the light in the world. So things do have to begin with us. When you say things have to begin with us, well, very much the truth, because Jesus was he was big into the discipleship. That was a big piece. One of the things we talked about, that was one thing. Another thing we talked about in the heart of my pastors was the compassion that Jesus had. He really had a lot of compassion for people, and we see that throughout the scriptures. So that was another thing. Another thing that was really key that we saw was that a lot of things happen in our churches, modern day churches nowadays, and God kind of highlighted the den of thieves part. And a lot of times you would take that and say, "Oh, well, that just means that people were doing things and in the church that had to do with money, or you know." Well, really, what it was meant to highlight was the idea that there's a lot of things that take place in the church that have no place in the church, and how we need to get back to the original purpose of church and what it's supposed to mean. He says, "My house should be called a house of prayer, not a den of thieves." So tonight, we're actually doing a Bible study in probably just about a little over an hour, where it's Jesus Walks again, but we're talking about the affairs of the people. So I encourage you to most definitely join us. Most definitely stay tuned in to this series. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got a lot of things that we've done over the last year. God, I can't even believe that it's been May 24th, I think, was the first Bible study that was done via Facebook Live and then transported to YouTube. So again, I love the fact that there's some people who are blessed by this. If it was just one person, I would be blessed by that. There's 13 subscribers right now. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the impact. I'm looking at the messages and me being obedient to getting out the word of God as He would have me to do. So please join us tonight. I look forward to seeing you Facebook Live or on the YouTube rebroadcast. I love you. Take care.